Yo, what's good? It's your boy Flicks back with another live stream. So, transfer saga, Tottenham talk once again with the transfer deadline day tomorrow. Are we actually going to make any more signings? We've only got Sousa through the door, someone that I've never heard of before. Left back, very young. That's all I know. Some kid from Santos. Well, obviously the other signing was Conor Gallagher, Premier League proven. Champions League proven, but still, it's not good enough. We need more signings through the door. So my question to you, Spurs fans, whoever's watching this, are Tottenham Hotspur going to make any more signings by the end of deadline day? Because the clock's ticking. The clock's ticking and we're all calling out for signings. We all know we're down to the bare bones. But before I crack on with the rest, if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, get smashed the likes, have your say in the comments section as always. So yeah, plenty to talk about. And obviously Tottenham Man City later on this afternoon at Lane. Can Spurs bag the win? Do we want Spurs to win, or do we want Man City to win? Because let's face it, if we manage to get Man City to drop points, then Arsenal are slowly creeping away again, aren't they? Or do we want Man City to beat us? And yeah, just for Man City to closing on Arsenal, and obviously we got to hope that we do Arsenal in a couple of weeks' time, back in the North London derby towards the end of February. So interesting times, guys. So the first thing I want to bring up is obviously Tottenham's transfer saga. So look, to have two signings only through the door, Sousa, like I said, young kid, Brazilian from Santos, left back. That's all I know. I can't really comment much about him because I've never seen him play. But what baffles me is, why have we got another left back? We got a Doogie. We got Spence who can play right and left. There was obviously talk of getting Andy Robertson through the door. That's looking like it's not going to happen now. But can you imagine if that did happen? Then we'd have Andy Robertson, Spence who can play both sides, and a Doogie, and Sousa. But even though saying that, why have we got Sousa through the door? Like I said, we got Spence who can play both sides, a Doogie. Obviously, Ben Davies is looking like his days in a Spurs shirt are done now. But why? Why have we got another left back? I really can't see this kid getting any game time whatsoever. So it wouldn't surprise me if we do loan him out. You know, right now we are calling out for a creative midfielder. We've got Madison missing still, Kulusevski missing out. It's been so long, You know, how long is it going to be till they're back? You know, we've got no wingers. Okay, yeah, we got Odebert who's slowly up in his game. You know, we got Tell maybe, but other than that, nothing in the middle. There's no creative midfielder, no wingers really. Strikers, we are calling out for strikers. Look, Dane Scarlett's gone out to Hibernian, if I remember rightly. Again, why? You know, when I see that yesterday, I believe, I'm sure that happened yesterday or Friday, that little move. So I'm thinking, okay, are Tottenham going to shock us right now? Are they going to announce a brand new signing, a striker? If that doesn't happen, then what the fuck is going on? What is going on at our club? Because Dean Scarlett's gone on loan for the remainder of the season. We've only got Richarlison when he's back, and Solanke. It's you couldn't write it, guys. You really couldn't write it. Really could not write it. So there's obviously other talks of Tottenham potentially making a move for Raheem Sterling. Now, when I first heard that news, I'm thinking, Sterling, his days are done, surely. He's 31 now. He's not had a look in at Chelsea for quite some time now. They wasn't obviously interested in him after, you know, sitting out on the sidelines, forgotten about, even though he was raking in so much money every week or whatever it was. So if Tottenham actually make this move for Sterling, then what was the point in getting rid of Son in the first place? I'd rather have Heung-min Son back with us than Sterling. I really would. I really don't see the point in making that move. It's ridiculous. Okay, yes, some might say Premier League proven. He might come in and give us a little bit of experience, you know, with the young, because we have got a young squad. We know that. In some ways, it would have been the same if we did. I know there's still time. If we maybe get Andy Robertson through the door, Premier League proven, won titles with Liverpool, Champions Leagues, been there, got the T-shirt. Again, he could bring that experience into the younger kids in the squad. So yeah, I can see that one, but for Sterling to join us, I'm not really all for that one. I really ain't. But Spurs fans, like I said, whoever's watching this, let me hear your thoughts in the comments section. Who would you want to see Tottenham make a move for on deadline day, being tomorrow as I speak? Deadline day tomorrow. So who would you want to see Tottenham sign on deadline day? Would you want to see Sterling through the door? You know, it's it's crazy. I've got a little something here. Tottenham are fighting to sign Argentinian sensation with an 86 million exit clause as Man United look to secure a deal for him. Again, probably rumours. You know, when I think back to why did Spurs even go for Conor Gallagher? Like, I rate Conor Gallagher. Premier League proven, Champions League proven. He's been abroad to Atletico Madrid. Got the, you know, he's been there. Got the T-shirt. He's got that experience under his locker. But I feel we've only got Conor Gallagher just for the simple fact of now Bentancur's missing. We all know we're down to the bare bones. It's ridiculous. It really is. Like I said earlier in my thumbnail, clock's ticking. The clock's ticking, Enic. What are we doing? What are you doing? It's deadline day tomorrow. We've got teams below us making signings. West Ham have made about 4 or 5 decent signings for their level of where they are. You know what I mean? Where we want to be as a club. Yeah, way up. We should be nowhere near where we're sitting right now, but we should be making signings. But right now we're just being laughed at. Teams below us are making signings. They're making moves. And what's Tottenham Hotspur Football Club doing? What's Enic doing? What's the board doing? Lang, Vinay, what are they doing? What are they doing? What are they doing? It's that saying, isn't it? You know, obviously, we'd all love to know what actually goes on behind closed doors. You know, you'd love to be a fly on the wall to really see what goes on behind closed doors. Again, you've only got to look at the recruitment, medical team, the whole shebang. It's totally fucked. It really is. It really is totally fucked. I see a couple of comments coming in. I'll get onto your comments very shortly. But yeah, man, it's very shambolic right now. Very shambolic. We're an absolute laughing stock. We really are. And to think, I know we're another month gone from winning Europa, but from winning that to this, you know what I mean? We should be really kicking on now. We should have made some decent signings, very good signings. It's going back to the Levy days. It was all about paying low wages. Yeah, he might fill a gap. Yeah, we give that kid a chance. There's no them days of getting like you Luka Modric, Bells, Foe, you know what I mean? Crouch, Berbatov, you know what I mean? Harry Kane, Delis, all them guys. You know, we're not going to get anywhere near that level for quite some time. I feel anyway, until we get rid of the ownership, because let's face it, the ownership, they don't give a monkeys. They don't give a monkeys. But here we are, guys. Just having a little look at the comments. Big up Coys. Big up Rodney Martin. Another comment here from Ghost. They must lose today. Come on, Spurs. What does anyone else say? It's a tough one. You know, of course, I don't want Tottenham to lose because West Ham, they nearly clinched onto closing that gap on Tottenham yesterday, didn't they? Even though West Ham lost 3-2 in the end, but when at half time I was seeing West Ham leading Chelsea at Stamford Bridge 2-0, I'm thinking, fuck, they're seriously closing the gap. That could have been 3 wins in 3 for West Ham yesterday, I believe. You know, and we are not picking up points. We are not picking up points. Just bear with me, guys. I'm just gonna get the table up again. Bear with me, guys. So week 24. Week 24, we're sitting 14th in the table with only 7 wins, 9 defeats. You know what I mean? Point-wise, we're on 28. 28 points. West Ham, because they did lose in the end, they're only 8 points ahead. Sorry, 8 points behind us. So obviously, if they did win yesterday, they would have closed that gap. You know what I mean? We're only ahead of Crystal Palace, Leeds, and Forest. Obviously, Palace and Forest both play today. They could easily close the gap. If we lose. So it's one of them ones. Do we want Tottenham to lose just for Man City's sake, closing that gap on Arsenal, or do we want Tottenham to win just to bag the points and slowly, fingers crossed, creep away from fighting a relegation battle? What do we want, guys? What do we want? You know, there's that saying, isn't it? You know, do we want Man City to beat us? But then we've got to go out and seriously take on Arsenal in a couple of weeks' time, and hopefully we beat them. That's a big ask. That's a very, very big ask. You know, I really can't see us picking up anything against the Gunners. But you know, going back on to today's game against Man City, 9 times out of 10, Tottenham pull it out of the bag. They really do. I've got a little stat here. Bear with me, guys. Where was it? I had it earlier. So Pep Guardiola's managerial career at Man City, facing Tottenham, 8 defeats. 8 defeats Tottenham have given Pep Guardiola since he's been at Man City. And in second, Man United with 7. So yeah, that's a little stat there I didn't actually know, to be honest. So it's going to be an interesting one today. Obviously, we've got key players missing. Obviously, the last time we played City was back at the Etihad in early August, and we absolutely smashed them. It was only 2-0, but we outplayed them. Absolutely outplayed them, and that seems such a long time ago now. So, can we do it again? Can we do it again? It's yeah. I really don't know what to think of what the outcome would be by full time. I really don't. Other comments here from Ghost. Frank out if we lose. Frank out if we win today. Look, with okay, now you've mentioned Thomas Frank. I want to get onto the Thomas Frank situation. Look. I've said before, and I'll say again. He's a very good manager, but not at our level. Mid-table best, as in AKA Brentford. He should have stayed at Brentford. He was doing a remarkable job for Brentford. Fantastic job. A very good recruitment compared to what Tottenham have. You know, the board, again, compared to what Tottenham have. They've got, they had Frank's back. They had him. He should have stayed at Brentford. That's his level. Coming to Spurs, total different kettle of fish. Different ball game in it altogether. There's so much on you, so much pressure on you to come straight in the door, deliver. Points, goals, defend. You've only got to look at the managerial situation we've had since Pochettino. serial winners, average. It's just been the same. And at the end of the day, it boils down to the board, the ownership, the recruitment, medical team. Look back to Ange Postecoglou's time at Tottenham. Yes, he delivered our first silverware, 17 years. But when you think back to where we finished in the Premier League, okay, yes, some might say, and I said this as well, so some might call me hypocritical, but at the end of the day, with him, he put all his eggs in one basket. He focused on that Europa. He thought, if I not only deliver Tottenham their first major trophy in 17 years, we get Champions League football. Yes, he done that. And I thank him for that. But at the end of the day, where we finished in the Premier League, fourth from bottom, 21, 22 league defeats was totally unacceptable. And at the same time, I blame Ange for the injuries we had. We had so many injuries, and I just didn't like his tactics. I really didn't like his tactics. Obviously, we got found out in the end, and it was just slowly killing the players. Tiring, they're tired, so tired, injured, down to the bare bones. But again, you got to look at the board. Wasn't really backed enough, was he? Wasn't really backed enough. So same goes to Thomas Frank. The situation where we are in now with Thomas Frank. We got deadline day tomorrow. Two signings through the door. And like I said earlier in my stream, teams below us making signings. West Ham are making signings. Yeah, in our eyes, they're not good signings, but for their level, seems very good. If they beat Chelsea yesterday, that would have been 3 wins in 3 for West Ham, closing the gap. Thankfully, Chelsea pulled it out of the bag in the end and turned the game around and beat them 3-2. But we've seriously got to see decent signings through the door. So, like I said earlier, I can't really comment much on the young kid from Santos, Brazil, Souza. All I know is he's very, very young and he's a left back. That's all I know. But can you really see him having any game time in a Spurs shirt? And Conor Gallagher, excuse me, who I do rate. And like I said, I'll say again, Premier League proven, West Bromwich Albion, Palace, Chelsea, Champions League, he's been there, done it, been out abroad, Atletico Madrid, like I said. So yeah, I do rate that signing, getting Conor Gallagher through the door, but we need more. We need more and we need better. I just can't wait. I really can't wait to see Kulusevski back, James Maddison back, because just having them two players back alone would be like having 2 brand new signings through the door. It really will. Like, they've been up for such a long time now. And like I said earlier, what the fuck are our medical team doing? What are they doing? Like I said, I'd love to be a fly on the wall and really see what goes behind closed doors. I really would, guys. So yeah, like I said, with the Thomas Frank situation, like I said, I do rate him, but he's nowhere near that level of taking on a team like Tottenham. Yeah, okay. Some of you might be thinking, okay, but yet we're somehow we managed to finish 4th in the Champions League group stage. We only lost 1. We beat Borussia Dortmund, a very, very good Borussia Dortmund. We beat Frankfurt, both 2-0 scorelines, clean sheets. Defense was top notch. You know what I mean? Why couldn't the team do that? Bring that Champions League, bring that style of Champions League. How can I say it? You know what I mean? Bring that style into the Premier League. Start performing in the Premier League. That's what baffles me. Why are we so shit in the league? Yet you look at the Champions League, we finished 4th. We finished fourth. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. It baffles me. It really does. It really baffles me. But yeah, like I said, going back to Frank, I just at the end of the day, he's out of his depth. He is out of his depth. But still, look, part of me still wants to give him time because, okay, yeah, the majority of you want him out the door. I'm not going to lie. I want Frank gone. But if Thomas Frank does go, who are we going to get through the door? Who actually wants to step in as most probably interim until the end of the season? Who actually wants that? Who actually wants that job, knowing, okay, I could only be here until the end of the season, then someone else is going to take over my role? Who actually wants that? Who actually wants that? So that's my question to you. If Frank goes, who would really want to come in at Tottenham until the end of the season? Maybe get the job full time, depending on what the outcome is by the end of the season. Interesting times as always, isn't it? What else we got here? A comment from Darren: big up yourself. I don't care about the scum. I just want us to win to build up confidence. There we go then. That's exactly how it should be. We need to win. It's that saying in it, you know. I've said on my previous videos, Tottenham have bagged that win. You know, I'd like to think now they've picked up a bit of fight, a bit of passion. They've got that mentality now. You know, come on, we can really kick on now. We can really kick on. It's continue this now. It's stick together. You know, but hey man, it's crazy. It's going back to the Frankfurt game. Again, in one of my past videos, I said, wouldn't it be the most Spursiest thing to drop points against Frankfurt, lose or draw, but then we go and beat Man City and stop Man City closing that gap on Arsenal? You know what I mean? That'd be the most Spursiest thing ever. But then we go and lose our next 3-4 games in the league. Here we are, guys. Here we are. But yeah, time will tell. Time will tell by the end of today's game if you know, if we're gonna pick up any points against Man City. It's going to be an interesting one. What else we got here? Darren's also saying, I think our squad is not strong enough to play 2 games a week. This is why we have so many injuries, and yet the Lewis family don't do nothing about it. Exactly. Like I said, it's. I'd really like to know what goes on behind closed doors, because it can't continue. They can't keep putting the likes of me and you through this same cycle of shit. You know, it's absolutely crazy. It's you know, we all know they've got money. We all know that. We all know that. Training facilities, we've got the best training facilities, one of the best stadiums in the world. Yet the group of boys that play on that football pitch are just basically average. Basically average. There's that saying I said a few weeks ago, for Tottenham Hotspur Football Club to really push on, in my opinion, build the team around the likes of Mickey van der Ven. Tottenham have to do everything they can to keep hold of him in the summer, because teams will come calling. There was obviously rumours a few weeks ago with the likes of Liverpool, I believe. I think there was a couple of other clubs, but I know one of them was Liverpool, rumoured to be coming in for Mickey van der Ven. Now, like I said, they have to do all they can, everything they can, to possibly keep hold of him. So in my opinion, build the team around him. Possibly Romero, but Christian Romero, he's a funny one. He's a funny one. Who watching this now, see the game against Burnley. I only see the highlights, so I can't really comment much, but from what I see, highlight-wise, etc., he made quite a few mistakes. Like Vicario passed the ball out to him. Romero's not watching the ball. He's just fucking daydreaming. You know, giving the ball away. Sloppy mistakes. And he's our captain. But then there's other days he turns up and he's fucking man of the match. it's not really consistent enough. Not really consistent enough. So that's an interesting one there. That's an interesting one there with Romero. Obviously, again, rumor has it that he's linked with Real Madrid. Again, I really don't know how true that is, but would you be sad to see the likes of Romero go in the summer, possibly? I don't really feel he should be our leader. I really don't. If anyone, I'd give it to Van der Ven. Van der Ven to be our new captain. I really would. Goalkeeper wise, Vicario, again, a bit like Romero, he's another funny one. He can have a very good couple of games, but he can turn a flick of a switch, he can be shit. Look back to, was it the Fulham game where he just made a couple of silly errors, very very stupid errors. Going back to the West Ham game where Callum Wilson got the winner. You know, if you're a goalkeeper, you stand your ground. Stand your ground, and he didn't do that. He made out he got fouled by Callum Wilson. I really couldn't see how that happened. You know, not good enough. Simply not good enough. So you got to look at the goalkeeping situation. I feel that we do need a new goalkeeper. So, you know, with Kingsley being linked with a move away to West Ham on loan till the end of the season, and then apparently we get West Ham's second, third choice keeper. I really don't see what's the point in making that move. Why should we be letting Kingsley go? If anything, give Kingsley a shout. Put Kingsley and go over Vicario. Let's really see what Kingsley's got before we actually do put him out on loan. Because other than that, we've only got Austin. It's just that cycle in it, that cycle of shit, and we're just going backwards yet again. When you think back to where we were to now this, you couldn't make it up. You really couldn't make it up, guys, could you? Really couldn't make it up. What other comments have we got here, guys? Where are we, guys? Where are we? Always in our shadow. Arsenal. Ah, yeah. I'm not gonna lie. They've had up to now a very very good season. A very good season. You know, they're on the verge of doing it all, but it's like they don't. It's like they bottle it like they normally do. What else we got here? Darren, teams in Champions League are not physical, and I just think we tend to forget about. Oh, sorry, I'll say that again. Teams in the Champions League are not. Sorry, I'll say it again. Teams in the Champions League are not physical, and we just think we tend to forget that has 15 players, some who are key players. Yeah, exactly. Another comment here from Darren. I ain't going to lie, but I was always shitting myself when West Ham went 2-0 up. Could have easily added. Yeah. Well, like I said, when West Ham went 2 goals up, I'm thinking, fuck, they are seriously on it now. That's 3 wins in 3. On the verge of making 3 wins in 3, I should have said. Closing the gap. And you know, with Forest playing later, I think they've got Palace later, haven't they? But whoever wins that, they're going to close the gap on Spurs if we lose, and it's not a good look because you've only got to look at the teams we got after Man City. We've got Man United, Newcastle. I think Liverpool's in there, and definitely Arsenal. Arsenal's, I think, one of the last games towards the end of February, but it's really not a good run of games, is it? Not a good run of games when you look at what we are in as a squad, down to the bare bones. It's just tragic, isn't it? It's tragic, absolutely tragic. But I'd like to think that, again, I've said in my past videos, check them out if you've not seen them. But I'd love to be shocked. Breaking news: Tottenham have signed a creative midfielder. They've signed a winger, striker. They're taking things seriously now. You know what I mean? But it ain't gonna happen, is it? It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. I really feel I really feel we are done now in this transfer window, and it's just been absolute trash, absolute trash. Can you imagine if Tottenham go down, we get relegated to the Championship? There's that saying, isn't it? I'm not the only content creator who said this, but with the Lewis family lurking around, a bit like Daniel Levy, you know, lurking around like a bad smell. The only way I see the Lewis family going is if we was to possibly get relegated. Could you really see the Lewis family still sticking at Tottenham if we play Championship football? And let's face it, if we do get sucked into the Championship, it's going to be one motherfucker of a league to get out of. If any of you actually really look at the Championship, it's a very, very tough league to get out of. You need goal scorers, creative midfielders, wingers, a very good goalkeeper, solid defence. And we don't have all that. We don't have that. We don't have that. So yeah, let's hope Tottenham don't go that far and we get sucked in that bottom three. Let's hope we just scrape it. And I know there's that saying, but it's a big ask, and it's a big ask. But to hopefully kick on next season and really start taking things serious. But at the end of the day, it boils down to the ownership and the board. Why the fuck have we got Lang, ex-Aston Villa reject? He was kicked out of Villa, and if I remember rightly, Lang was along with the board when Villa got relegated. Look at where we are now in the league with him. Vinay, Arsenal reject, kicked out of Arsenal. Why the fuck have we got him? Why have we got him? Why have we got them? Why? And like I said, there's that saying, what are they actually doing? What is going on? What is going on? Because it's just one big mess, isn't it? One big mess. Where was I, guys? Big up. If you've just joined, please smash the likes. The more likes, the better. Get subscribing to the channel if you're new. I'd really appreciate it. So yes, guys, where was I in the comments? Big up Darren again. I watched the game against Burnley. We were all over them, and our team just lost focus. It's so strange. Yeah, it's crazy. I know. We stat wise, because like I said earlier, didn't get to see the game, so I only saw highlights. Obviously, stat wise, we dominated. Like you said, we you know. But how the fuck did we draw that game? We were this close to losing. It's Burnley, second from bottom. Burnley have only won about 4 or 5 games this season. You know, it's totally unacceptable. And there's that saying, like I said earlier, why can't we bring the way we played? Sorry, guys, why can't we bring in the way we play in the Champions League into the Premier League? It doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense, guys. Doesn't make sense. Where are we, guys? Big up Darren again. Did you watch Match of the Day last week? The pundits just laughed how poor Romero and Van der Ven as well. Van der Ven were when Burnley had a period in that second half. Yeah, I can't really comment much on Van der Ven, but yeah, definitely Romero. I spotted Romero, like I said earlier, giving the ball away so many times. You know, there was a couple of key moments where Vicario played it out short, and Romero's just looking away, daydreaming, if you want to call it that, just paying no attention to actually what's going on. And then there's other times where he's man of the match, solid. So you know, it's a bit like Richarlison, isn't it? Not consistent enough. Not consistent enough. Not consistent enough. And again, what I've just got Vicario in my mind still is what actually does piss me off with Vicario, even though yeah we do need to drop him, but he plays the ball out short far too many times, and 9 times out of 10 we just give it away. Because you've only got to look back to last season. That's how it was last season. Gave the ball away so many times, sloppy at the back, time and time again. But here we are, guys. What else we got here? Darren again. Are you worried that the recruitment team saw Gallagher as our deep line playmaker? Look, I do like Conor Gallagher. In some ways, I feel he can bring that experience. He's Premier League proven, definitely. Champions League proven. You know, he's been up to Atletico Madrid. You know, so he's got that experience under his locker. So I do rate that signing, but we, as a football club going forward, we can definitely do better. Definitely do better. Definitely do better. I know we will be better once fingers crossed we get the likes of Madison back, Kulusevski. You know what I mean? You've only got to look at our injuries. It's ridiculous. We've got about 14, 15 players missing, all key players. And 9 times out of 10, the majority of those players would be starting. But hey ho. Darren again, never felt so relieved when West Ham lost. Yeah, definitely. Look, I hate Chelsea to a passion, but yeah, part of me did cheer when West Ham dropped points. Where are we again? Darren, Enic need to sell. Yeah, exactly. I've lost count how many times I've said this, going back to when we had Levy. You know, it just sitting there like a bad smell. With the signings he brought in, you know, it's at the end of the day, it's not good enough. It was all about paying low wages, and you know, it would come out now and then, a bit like what Langham and I are doing right now. Tottenham Hotspur as a football club, we want to do the very best to really push this club as far as we can, as far as we can take them. We want to be competing at the highest, aka Champions League. But it's just words, isn't it? It's just words to try and sweeten us up, brush it on the carpet. Hopefully they forget about it, and we were just carrying on as normal. We just try and sweeten them up a little bit. We're not seeing any of that. We're just going backwards. But wouldn't it be the most Spursiest thing? A bit like last season, to finish fourth from bottom and we win the Champions League. It'd be outrageous, wouldn't it? And I'm not going to lie, I would absolutely piss myself laughing if we actually finish fourth from bottom, win the Champions League, and Frank gets the sack. It'd be a constant repeat of what happened last season. It really would. It really would. But you know, at the end of the day, and I was saying, the board are to answer for. The ownership, the Lewis family, are to seriously answer for. How many times has Joe Lewis himself been to Tottenham? Twice, if that. You know, he doesn't actually go there, does he? He doesn't go there and show his support. You know what I mean? He just makes out he throws his money. You know what I mean? Here we are, guys. Here we are. But yeah, are Tottenham going to get anyone else through the door on deadline day? And as I speak, deadline day is tomorrow. Simply not good enough. Simply not good enough. And to fans that are going to the game against Man City today, if you don't know, you will know now. There is a planned protest outside the lane before kickoff, and that will continue inside the stadium. And I believe at the 75th minute there is a planned walkout for fans that are inside the stadium to walk out on the 75th minute, and you carry on watching the game at local pub. There's plenty of pubs around the lane. If you know, you know. So yeah, all this should have happened a long time ago. Boycott going to the Spurs shop, buy merchandise. If you're going to the game itself, boycott buying refreshments. Because look, we're putting so much money in their back pockets, yet the likes of me and you are not seeing nothing in return. Let's face it, we are not getting nothing in return. We are not seeing anything in return. So what are your thoughts on that one? Should Spurs fans, whoever's going to the game, start actually boycotting what I just said? What else we got here? Rodney Martin. What a joke! What a joke this club is. Yeah, exactly. Darren also saying, if we went to the Championship, we could end up being League One team. Yeah, definitely. Like I said, the Championship is it's a very, very tough league. We all know that. A very, very tough league. You need goal scorers. You need a solid defence, creative midfielders, wingers. You know what I mean? Solid keeper. And the games come thick and fast. Games week, you got games on the weekend, you've got games during the week. You know, it's very, very competitive, very, very competitive to be in the Championship. So let's let's hope that doesn't happen and we get sucked into that. We don't want that. We don't want that. We don't want that. But yeah, there's a long way to go yet. There's a long way to go, and there's that saying, isn't there? Being a Spurs fan, strap yourself in and brace yourself. And it's basically that, guys. Basically that. What else we got here? Darren Ferguson, Van der Ven was off it against Burnley. He has more focused in attacking than defending. Um, in the day, I do rate Van der Ven. I do rate him. And like I said earlier in my stream, and I'll say again, in my opinion, we need to start building the team around Van der Ven. Tottenham have to do all they can do, everything they can do to keep hold of him, because he's a solid, in my opinion, a solid defender, very, very pacey, good in the air. Not scared to run forward and really go for a goal. He's done that a couple of times, hasn't he? What else we got here? Another one from Darren Ferguson. Imagine if we beat Arsenal in the Champions League final. You're not the only one who's actually said that. Yeah, imagine meeting the Gunners in the Champions League final, and we can't come out on top and beat them. That would be the icing on the cake, wouldn't it? Obviously, guaranteed Champions League football next season, but yeah, to beat them in the final would be sweet. That would be sweet, wouldn't it? That would be sweet. What else we've got here? Darren, I never thought I would say this, but Levy would have signed someone by now. Yeah, he probably would have signed someone by now, but it wouldn't have been where we should be as a club, as in getting quality through the door. It'd be this level. Yeah, he might do a job. He might do a job at the end of the day, but yeah, we can't pay him too much. So yeah, we get that kid in instead. He might fill a gap. Bit like Brennan Johnson. He wasn't the best, but in some ways, I feel he did do a job. He did do a job. He was. How can I say it? There was quite a few times when before we did ship him off. Sat on the bench and you got the likes of Richarlison playing up top, and I was calling out for Brennan Johnson to be starting over Richarlison so many times, because I felt that Brennan Johnson would get you that goal. He would get that killer goal. Look back to last season, our top scorer. I know it wasn't much compared to what Harry Kane's and his Sonny's would have got back in the past now, but he was our top scorer last season. Why ship off your top scorer when we're all crying out for a goal scorer? Yet we're having to rely on our centre backs in Romero and Van der Ven to get our goals. Going forward, it's literally trying to get blood out of a stone. There's nothing there. Nothing there, is there? Nothing there. But yeah. It's obviously, like I said, if he was to have Levy, I'm sure that we would have got another one or two signings by now, but it wouldn't have been good enough. It wouldn't have been good enough. Guys, get smashing likes, get subscribing if you're new. I'd appreciate it. The more likes, the better. So please smash the likes. What else we got here? Darren also saying, I've been saying this, we need to stop going to games and stop buying merchandise. This is the only way we can hurt them. and take us seriously. Yeah, exactly. I've really lost count how many times I've said this. Not only in my past streams and videos, but I've been saying this for such a long time now. If you go into the game, yeah, fair enough, but don't start going to the Spurs shop and splashing your money. Stop buying your drinks at the lane itself. You know, stop buying your refreshments, and you know, because we're just putting our money in their back pockets, and we're not getting nothing in return, are we? We are not getting anything in return. Instead, if you're going to the game, support your local pub. There's plenty of them. Plenty of them. Big up the Bill Nick. That's one of them, by the way. You know, number 8. They're all there. They're all there. They're all there. So start supporting the pubs. Start supporting the pubs, and yeah, walk out on the 75th minute, because we need to have our voices heard. They need to start taking the likes of me and you seriously, because we've had enough. We have seriously had enough, and this shit can't continue. This cannot continue. Cannot continue. What else we got here? Darren, I rate him. The players exactly. They just never took Burnley seriously, did they? I know there's that saying in isn't there, that a team can go to a lower club and go, yeah. We can take this one easy. We'll roll them over. I know there's that saying, isn't there? You know, there is that saying. Another one here from Darren. Smash the likes, people. Yeah, big up Darren. Yeah, please get smash the likes. The more likes, the better. It gets the channel known. Obviously, the video right now known as well. So I really do appreciate that. Please get subscribing. So yeah, before I do go shortly, it's a big ask, we all know, but who would you love to see Tottenham bring in on deadline day? Who would you love to see in a Spurs shirt? Let's start seeing that in the comments. Who would you like to see? Put that in the comments section, guys. Who would you want to see? Who would you want Tottenham to sign on deadline day? Who would you love to see in a Spurs shirt by the end of deadline day? Let's see your thoughts, guys, in the comments section. Let's hear those, guys. Who would you love to see? Who would you love to see? Who would you love to see? Darren, I want us to sign a top winger. Yeah, exactly. Who would you love to see, by the way? Now you're saying a winger. Who would you love to see Tottenham bring in? Savinho. So that's you're about the Man City winger. We've been linked with him before. I can't really see that one happening now. I can't see that happening. Even the likes of, I know it's not been confirmed yet, but I know I said even the likes of West Ham are making moves. They are making serious moves, signing players. You know, they're really trying to take their shit seriously. Fulham have been linked with, is it Oscar Bob from Man City? Very good player, I feel. You know, what the fuck is going on? This is what I mean. What is going on at Tottenham? Teams like that making signings, yet we're just sitting back. What are they actually doing? What are they thinking? What are they thinking? What is the board, the ownership actually thinking? Like I said earlier, you know, you've only got to look at my thumbnail. Clock's ticking, Enic. The clock is ticking, Enic. What are you doing? What are you doing? This can't continue, man. This cannot continue. Not Sterling. Yeah. I would have definitely gone for Sterling, say, for maybe 5 years ago. You know, I'm going to probably sound a bit hypocritical now, but at the end of the day, if Tottenham were to go and get Sterling and it come out, they pulled it off, then okay, fair enough. But I wouldn't start him. Obviously, if I know we're down to the bare bones, but maybe come on for the last 20, 15 minutes. Maybe a possible impact player. Give us a bit of spark. I don't know. I really don't know. On that one. But yeah, I know I said before, you know, if we're going to get someone like Sterling, then why the fuck did we let Sonny go? I would rather have kept hold of Heung-min Son than have Sterling through the door. 100%, definitely, because we all knew what we had with Son. I actually feel Tottenham got rid of Sonny far too early. I know where he is now in the MLS is a total different kettle of fish, and it's you're basically playing with a bunch of amateurs, isn't it? Let's face it. But he's just he is far too good for that league. Far too good for that league. So, well, yeah, here we are, guys. Here we are. Yeah, Darren. How the hell did Fulham get Oscar Bob? Oh, is that actually confirmed then? The last I heard, Fulham were linked with Oscar Bob. There was in talks with him or something along those lines. Yeah, if they pull that one at the bag, that's going to be a very good signing for Fulham. Definitely, that's going to be a very good signing for them. So, yeah. Oh, he is signed. He's signed. Okay, so Fulham have signed Oscar Bob. Okay, but yeah, it's yeah. Are we going to see anyone through the door? Are we? I'm trying to get that mindset of now. That's it. Transfers are done at Tottenham until the summer. We're not going to see anyone else through the door. But then you never know, do you? You never know. I'd like to think there is something going on behind closed doors that they're keeping hush hush, and we can all go, fuck. They've actually made a move for him. You know what I mean? That's what I want. That's what I want. But it ain't gonna happen, is it? It ain't gonna happen. We got to just face reality. It ain't gonna happen, is it? It's not gonna happen. But yeah, quickly before I do go, what are your thoughts on the Tottenham and Man City game later this afternoon? Of course, I want Tottenham to win, but then part of me wants Man City to win just to close the gap on Arsenal. It's very yeah, it's one of them ones, isn't it? It's one of them ones. What team do you reckon Thomas Frank will put out? What squad? What's he gonna put out? Formation, score. What's the scoreline going to be? What's the scoreline going to be? Another comment here from Darren. Apparently, Lang is in charge of the signings. Well, yeah, don't surprise me. Definitely. Lang and Vanai are both lurking about. You know, they're behind the signings. That's 100%. That is true. We all know that. We all know that. But yeah, going back on to the game against Man City at the Lane. What's your score predictions? What are your score predictions? Look, if you're going to ask me, Flicks, what do you reckon the score prediction would be? I'm going to throw it out there and go 2-1 Spurs. You're probably laughing right now. I don't give a shit. I really don't. But Man City, you've only got to look at the record. Man City, they can play their strongest team possible, yet somehow Tottenham just seem to come out on top and at least get a point, get 3 points. I know we're down to the bare bones. I know we ain't got the likes of Madders, Kulusevski, definitely. But yeah, it's gonna be an interesting one. Darren saying if we play well 2-0 Spurs, 2-0, clean sheet. I'm not sure about a clean sheet. Rodney Martin, 1-1. Yeah, 1-1. I'll definitely take a point. I'd definitely take a point, rather than a fucking loss, definitely. But it's going to be an interesting one. It's let me just bear with me, guys. I'm just looking for. Where are we? What was the squad that Thomas Frank put out against Frankfurt? Here we go. So obviously Vicario was in goal. And then Frank went with Romero, Danzo, yeah, Spencer Nadu get the back, and then it was Papsar, Gray in that central mid. Then in front of them it was Odibert, Conan Mawani and Simmons out on the wing. So I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see Simmons out on the wing. I definitely don't want to see Mawani starting. Even though, yeah, he finally got his first Spurs goal the other night. So again, rumor has it now that Tottenham could maybe keep hold of him now till the end of the season. Not just because he's got his first goal. He's not good enough. Mawani is not good enough. He is not good enough. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting one to see what sort of side he does put out. It really will. In my opinion, I don't like the thought of Frank playing three central defenders at the back. I don't like it. What's the point? What is the point? What is the point? So, in my opinion, I want to see Vakari in goal. I've seen. Well, I'd say that again. I don't want to see Vakari. I'd rather see Kingston in goal. But we all know it's going to be Vakari in goal, don't we? So, Vakari in goal. Then we back four would be Porro, Romero, Van der Ven, and Doogie. Then in your midfield middle, I'd have Gallagher. I'd have Gallagher there, and toss up between Basuma and João Palhinha in that central mid. Then in front of him, Odibert, definitely Odibert. I feel with Odibert, he's slowly upping his game a little bit. And then just behind the striker, Xavi Simons. And then definitely Solanke up top. That's what I would go with. That's what I would go with. Definitely. But yeah, man, it's gonna be an interesting one. It will be interesting. What else we got it before I do go, guys? Darren, this is not a good Man City team. Look at their last 5 games. Yeah, definitely. They dropped points in the Champions League, didn't they, against Bodo Glimt a few weeks ago? Dropped points against Man United in the league. Yeah, it's yeah, like I said, it's going to be an interesting game today. It really will. Spurs ladies is beating West Ham. I think today could be a good day. Let's hope so. I think Mawani is good. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly, guys. Exactly. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting one tomorrow. Are Tottenham going to make any more signings on deadline day? Are we? Like I said, and I'll say again, I feel that they're done. Our transfers are done. The young kid from Santos, Souza, and Conor Gallagher. That's it. But you never know. We could be totally shocked and we see a couple of fantastic signings on deadline day. That's what we want. But it's a big ask, isn't it? It's a big ask. Let's pray. Yeah, exactly. Let's pray. Yeah, pray big time. Yeah. But yes, guys, I'm going to call it a day there, guys. But yes, please, if you've just joined, please smash the likes. The more likes, the better. Get subscribing to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. Get sharing the channel as well. Again, I'd really appreciate it. Yeah, let's hope the boys put a decent performance in, win, lose or draw, whatever. But at the end of the day, I just want to see the Spurs team put a decent amount of effort in. You know what I mean? That's all I'm asking for. Show some passion. Bit of fight, bit of spirit, etc. But yes, I will see you guys. I'll see you guys on the next video. Take it easy, and as always, up Spurs. Come on, let's go.